Yeah.
And speaking of that, I'm going to go into my first thing here.
Sure.
Like doing the work and trying to set yourself up. So if you're this kid and you're trying to get drafted, at the end of the day, it's on you. So this kid that came in, we talked about it a bit after. Good for him for coming in and actually listening and trying to get himself prepared. Like,
it was great.
Freaking
We had
awesome.
a great talk. He was sharp.
Yeah,
sharp.
Awesome on this kid for doing that and using you as a resource to help himself, right? And I'm going to talk about that a bit today. But I was looking at one thing that I think kids where they're missing a potential opportunity to help themselves improve, I'll call it that, is with social media. So I was looking at, because with TikTok and stuff that we're posting, I'm seeing like all the people that are following us, and the odd time like the person that comments or someone new who follows us or whatever, I'll click on them just to see their profile and see if they have any content or what they're about or whatever. And a lot of times I'll click on these profiles and they'll be following like 2,500 people. 1,000 people.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of people to follow. So if you're on social media just for entertainment purposes and you're not actually, you don't care, like that's fine. This isn't a message necessarily for you. But if you're a kid that's trying to get better or trying to improve themselves some way, and that's who I'm primarily talking about, people that are trying to get something out of who they're following, you can't keep track of 1,000 people worth of content, you know? Yeah. So one of the things that I started doing when I started to try to get better and use social media as a tool to help myself get better is I would pick like tops 10 people to follow, and I would religiously follow their content, like people that I think are giving me good value for what they're posting. I would follow maybe 10 and pay attention to what they're posting. Yeah. Because if you're following 2,000 people or 1,000 people, and on TikTok now, if you go on your For You page and you can scroll forever, if you're following 1,000 people, or not For You page, who you're following page, you can scroll forever and you're never.
Well, your day's over, right? I guess that's where you get caught.
Right. So on TikTok, I don't know if you know this because you don't really go on a lot. There's a page for following, like, so it just shows you videos from people you follow.
Okay, so if you have, I'm just interrupting. If you got 1,000 or 2,500 people that you're following,
impossible.
You're just you're swimming in an ocean of
exactly. Right.
At the end of the day, you're exhausted from nothing.
Right. So they have
if you care about that.
Right. If they care about that. So they have two pages. They have the following page. So it just shows you videos from people you follow, or a For You page, which is just random videos that'll just pop up based on what you watch.
Oh, so it'd be like the algorithm of what you like.
Exactly. Right. So when you go on like the Instagram, the search page, whatever it shows you is based on that kind of thing. So you have this following page. So the For You page is going to show you the random crap anyways, you know? So don't follow so many people that you can't use it as a tool, right? So if you're going to, let's say you want to be a better hockey player and you're going to follow 2 different trainers or 3 different trainers that you like, a couple different hockey skills accounts, whatever, the Toronto Maple Leafs NHL account or whatever, like pick 10 that you can actually keep track of, because you're going to go on social media. Like all the kids are on social media all the time, right? So use it to some degree, try to use it as a tool. Like this is something that can really benefit you. You're going to be connected to experts around the world at what they're doing, you know, and you can actually use it to give yourself knowledge or information or help you to learn things just while you're wasting time.
As you're saying that, I'm just thinking of the traps that people fall in. And I don't, so anybody that thinks I'm talking about social media, I'm not. I don't even understand the stuff. But what I mean by that is, you ever read a book or you see, okay, let's say social media, you see someone that sounds smart the first time, right?
Yeah.
And if you take a little bit of information from them, it might be good. But sometimes the more someone speaks, the more you can realize that the less they know.
Right.
That they're spewing a lot of garbage. So if you're following 1,000 people and you're just seeing little clips of the good, right? Or even our podcast, right? I'm assuming if you only see a clip of a 40-second clip and it's a good clip and all the other context is out, then you might be missing the actual good part, or you might be listening to that part and saying, oh, wow, those guys are really smart. But then if you listen to the stuff around it, you might say, oh, actually, they're really dumb. Yeah. So if you're listening to a whole bunch of tidbits from 500 people or 1,000 people coming at you, you don't have a chance to decipher who actually has a brain. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So like, I think, so your point being, if you watch, PowerTech online and you go for the skills drills and you go, this is really cool when we show the clips. But if you go into a long version of our teaching, you say, oh, the guy's actually an idiot. But you need that, like
Right.
you said, follow it for
That's right.
1 week to
Yeah.
say, no, these guys are sharp. Or,
Right.
okay, the guy's just, he throws pylons out and
Exactly.
does stupidity.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's what you're saying.
Exactly. So
I said the long way of saying that?
no, you
Oh, okay.
that was a good example. It's like
I'm just contributing.
painting
Yeah.
the picture, right?
Yeah.
You're painting the picture because that's what ends up happening, right? So what people normally do, and kids or adults, you follow somebody, you first come across someone
Yeah.
that you think you like or
Yeah.
gives you something that you find interesting, you follow them.
Yeah.
Then you start to see their clips a little bit more frequently. Then if you really like them, then you'll go looking for their clips.
Yeah.
So if you don't see one, you'll go look for it.
Yeah.
Then you'll start to click their website link and see what else they have
Yeah.
and whatever. So this is how you start to get. But if you have 22,000 people you're following, you're never going to find that person that's good. And you're never going to find the people that aren't good.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a big mess of shit information that is coming at you and you have no way of parsing through it.
Yeah,
right?
so you're lifting weights and you're thinking, oh, okay, I got to do plyometrics and I got to do strength and I got to do like, and it's
Right.
like and stretch and this,
Right.
and then you're confused.
Right.
Just a different type of example of that is understanding who you're listening to. Is like if you just take snippets, then you can be really sucked in.
Yeah.
So I was obviously I like UFC a lot and I like the sport. But I really like the mentality and the training that goes behind it. So I get involved in learning a lot of it, right? Not physically, I don't beat people up.
Yeah, you just like
But like I
following
like
it.
I
Yeah.
like the mentality and like because hey man, you're going in front of 55,000 people with a pair of underwear on and beat the shit out of someone or get the that's incredible. So there was one trainer that I was watching an interview on and it was not bad. Like I liked it, but I had a feeling he was a little kind of arrogant. But in that sport, kind of
Yeah, you have
have
some of
to
that, yeah.
have some confidence, right?
Yep.
So he's a nutritionist, and he was he would dial down people's weight down and stuff like that, and they say like he does it really really well.
Yep.
Bought his book.
Yeah.
Remember that book? It's in my back car. I haven't burned it yet. I want to. It's legit the worst book I've ever had, and it was more expensive than any other book. But I said this will be good information.
Yep.
Bought this book. It had maybe 3 pages, and I'm not joking with the letters this big. Like it was like reading green eggs and ham.
Yeah.
With the letters that big, and maybe, and I'm being generous, probably maybe 3 pages worth of information on nutrition, and the rest was just all spewing shit. I was so pissed reading this book.
Mhm.
But what am I going to do? Send it back
Yeah, right.
and complain? But I'm like, wow.
Right.
But this is what happens, right? If I just listen to this guy's snippets here, then well, this guy's a jackass.
Right.
You know what I mean?
100, yeah. Well, so that's exactly what happens. So another example for us, like, so when sometimes people will comment on one of the podcast clips,
Yeah.
and they'll make a point that we have said in
Yeah.
another clip.
Right.
So, for example, the one I posted one yesterday, and it was about our posture mechanics for skating.
Yeah.
And somebody made a comment about using your toes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, like we talk
said,
about the toe
have
thing
that
in
toe
another
power.
in the episode. We talk
Yeah.
about it, right? So I click on this person's profile, and it was one of these, like 2,500 people they follow,
Yeah.
and they don't even follow us.
Right.
So they just came across our stuff, made a passing comment without investigating the source and
Yeah.
actually listening to the
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go.
And like I said, if you're looking just for entertainment or whatever, that's fine. But if you, as a kid, you can use, it's a great tool. It can
Yeah.
be a really good tool. So that's
Yeah.
all. My point is just that, like, use it to your advantage, and have some precision with who you're following, so that you're not just getting swarmed and overwhelmed by information. Because then you'll start to learn some things, and you'll make mistakes. You'll follow the wrong person and get the wrong advice and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's better than just aimlessly wandering around the internet with whatever crap comes your way.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
It's good advice. So I think you're concluding it.
yeah, I was going to shift to one
It's
more.
very good advice. And then again, it goes to, do you care? Are you watching social media for that? If you don't like this part of our clip, then just turn it off.
Yeah.
But it's a very good piece of advice. It's declutter the brain a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I started doing that for myself. Actually, just a couple of weeks ago, I was cleaning up some of like the podcasts that I follow, because it's impossible to stay on top of all of it. Like, so I end up, what I do when I listen to podcasts, and my girlfriend's gonna laugh at this, because I'll and my family too. I listen to podcasts at 2.5 times the speed, which is not optimal.
I've heard you.
Which is not which is not optimal for absorbing the information, first of all. And I do it on purpose because I want to be able to listen to all the things I want to listen to. But it's too many things.
Yeah.
So I just kind of came to the realization again in the last couple of weeks, and I just cut out a couple that I'm not really super interested in anymore. So tighten it up for a bit, and then I'll expand out to something else as I come across new things. And it's just a good strategy. So one example of that